Hello, my name is Emily Dennis. I'm counsel for the Kentucky Legislative Ethics Commission. It's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you for your interest and your involvement in the political process. And thanks to Anna Whites for inviting the Commission's participation in this training. My goals here are to inform you on what the Legislative Ethics Commission is and what we do as an agency. I hope to help you, your political party organizations, and executive committees better understand the Legislative Ethics Code. With this knowledge, you can help legislators, legislative candidates, lobbyists, and lobbying employers avoid ethics compliance issues during legislative campaigns. So let's dive right into this. The code is found at KRS Chapter 6. It establishes the commission as an independent board within the legislative branch. There are 9 members. 4 are chosen by the Speaker of the House, 4 by the President of the Senate, and the 9th member is chosen by the Bipartisan Legislative Research Commission. None of these members are legislators. Commissioners serve staggered 4-year terms, and at least 3 members must be affiliated with the largest minority party in the state. There are limits on the political activities of commissioners during their term, and commission staff administer the day-to-day business of the commission. To implement the Legislative Ethics Code, the commission has 3 primary responsibilities: education, disclosure, and enforcement. A key component of the Ethics Code is education. The commission is committed to providing extensive ethics information and training for legislators, legislative candidates, lobbyists, and employers. We do this by making presentations and answering questions about the code by telephone or in writing. One of the best features of the code is the advisory opinion process. The statute authorizes commission staff to issue confidential, informal advisory opinions interpreting the ethics code. This is an extremely important activity as we apply the code to specific real-life situations, and any person can request an informal opinion. The commission may also render formal advisory opinions, which must be based on the law as written and not on the personal opinions of commission members as to legislative intent or the spirit of the law. Formal advisory opinions are published, but like an informal opinion, they are also confidential as they are written in a way that doesn't identify the person who made the request. Disclosure is another key component of the Ethics Code. Lobbyists and employers are required to register with the Commission within 7 days of engagement. Engagement means a payment or an agreement to pay an individual to lobby. The code requires updated information to be filed by lobbyists and employers at specific times throughout the year, and civil fines are payable for failure to timely register or report lobbying expenditures. These reports also require identification of the bills that are lobbied. On the legislative side, in February of each year, all legislators, legislative candidates, and certain legislative management staff are also required to file financial disclosure forms with the commission. The reports that are filed by lobbyists and their employers, legislators, and legislative candidates are available to the public on our website. This opens up to the media and the public extensive information relating to the financial interests of members of the General Assembly, candidates, and the activities of those who lobby the legislature with the goal of developing public confidence in the legislative process. On the enforcement side, the Commission has real and substantial enforcement powers. The Commission is empowered to initiate investigations in response to complaints brought to it. If, after a preliminary investigation, the Commission finds probable cause to believe that a violation of the code has occurred, it may, under certain circumstances, choose to confidentially reprimand the alleged violator or may initiate a formal proceeding similar to a court trial. So how does all this relate to the activities of political parties and executive committees? First off, to be clear, the Commission does not regulate county or state political parties or executive committees. The Registry of Election Finance regulates these organizations. Any question concerning the campaign finance regulation found in KRS Chapter 121 should be directed to the registry. However, a key purpose of the code is to establish a firewall between legislative agents and the financing of legislative campaigns. So it's helpful for persons who are actively involved in the political process with local parties and executive committees to know the campaign finance restrictions that are found in the Ethics Code. There's several important concepts to remember. The first concept is that the code prohibits a legislative candidate or legislator from asking or directing a legislative agent to solicit campaign contributions for a political party or a legislative campaign. A legislator should not solicit a contribution from a lobbyist for a political party. An employer should not ask, direct, or pay a lobbyist to solicit contributions for legislative campaigns. A lobbyist should not co-host a legislative candidate or legislator's fundraising event. A legislative agent may voluntarily contribute to or co-host an event to raise contributions for a political party if the contributions are deposited in the party's general fund and are not earmarked for a specific legislative race. But here again, this is a situation where a legislative agent is not requested by a legislator to do so. Lobbyists cannot make campaign contributions to legislators or legislative candidates at any time, nor may they contribute to caucus campaign committees, as these are simply groups of legislators, or to sitting legislators who are running for other offices. There are other things that lobbyists can do to be politically active, such as volunteer activity, stuffing envelopes, putting up yard signs, and of course, they can contribute to a political party. But a lobbyist cannot serve as a campaign treasurer for a legislator or a legislative candidate, and they cannot solicit contributions for a legislative candidate or legislator or control or deliver the contributions to them. A lobbyist also cannot seek to accomplish through others what he or she is prohibited from doing personally. Now, with respect to spouses of lobbyists may make contributions to legislative candidates or legislators and to caucus campaign committees, so long as the contribution is authentic and not an artificial transaction, to avoid the prohibition on campaign contributions by lobbyists to legislators and legislative candidates. In other words, the spouse has to be the true source of funds for the contribution. Employers of lobbyists cannot make campaign contributions during the session to legislators or legislative candidates, except for legislators running for statewide office or legislative candidates in a special election. But employers will always want to check with the registry for compliance with the campaign finance regulation in addition to the ethics code. A legislative lobbyist should never be in a position where they are approving or directing the expenditure of executive committee funds to support legislators, legislative candidates, or caucus campaign committees. So let me leave you here with some best practices guidelines, and I'm also going to show you our website because I think it's important for you to know. The first guideline I would give you is to be aware of the law. Legislators and lobbyists and lobbying employers are subject to restrictions in their interactions. So what an executive committee asks of a legislator or lobbyist may place them in a position where they run the risk of an ethics violation. Number two, ask the commission. In a minute, I'm going to show you where you can get our contact information off our website. When in doubt, if a particular scenario may violate the ethics code, contact our commission for a confidential, informal opinion. Education is a core purpose of the commission, and we are very happy to assist you with your question. Number three, familiarize yourself with the commission's resources. Disclosure is another core purpose of our agency. Lobbyists, lobbying employers, legislators, and legislative candidates are all required to make disclosures to the commission, and this information is available on our website. Also, there are training videos, guidebooks, summaries, and links to the commission's advisory opinions. My final tip to you is do everything you can to help your party's candidate avoid an enforcement action. Be extra diligent to review contributions that are made at a fundraising event. It's not uncommon for a political party executive committee and a legislator or a legislative candidate to hold a joint fundraising event. In this instance, be extra diligent to ensure that campaign contributions from a lobbyist to the political party's executive committee aren't inadvertently deposited or credited to the candidate's account. The commission maintains an up-to-date list of lobbyists on its website, so it's easy to determine whether an individual who attends a fundraising event is a registered lobbyist. The last thing that you want is for your party's nominee to be the subject of an ethics complaint. It's best to be cautious to avoid the perception that the ethics code is being circumvented in any way. Even the appearance of impropriety could be used as grounds for someone to file an ethics complaint. Okay, now I'm going to show you our website because I think really this is the most important thing for you to know. You can go back and review this video at any time, but the website is there for you as well. Okay, so now I'm sharing with you the home page of our website. And our website is found at klec.ky.gov. That's our website. If you go here to About KLEC, you can scroll down to Commission Staff. And there we are. There's our staff. We have a very small and dedicated staff, and you can email any one of us with your questions. So that's that. In terms of the advisory opinions, the opinions that have been issued by the commission that on different topics, you go under this tab, and there's a summary of the opinions. They're searchable by year. They're also searchable. There's also an index by topic. You can find a lot of information in these advisory opinions. With respect to the lobbyist and employers, we maintain an up-to-date list of lobbyists and employers on our website. This is really a good list for you to refer to, when you're thinking in terms of a campaign, to make sure that you don't inadvertently get someone involved in the process that's going to be subject to these restrictions. There's a lot of information there. Also, here's where you can find where the financial disclosures are for the legislators and legislative candidates. There's just a ton of information. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how much you can learn about our agency just by going to our website. And there are trainings. Here are the training videos. There are guidebooks. There's a newsletter that we publish monthly. There's lots of information here. So don't be afraid to ask. That's why we're here. That's why we're here, so that you can ask. Okay. I want to thank you all so much for your attention, and thank you, Anna, for having us here today. If you have any questions, feel free to call or send us an email. Use the resources on our website, and know always that we welcome questions. Thank you very, very much. Good luck.
Hey there. If you've gotten this far, please send an email to annawhites@aol.com saying, "I got this far." That way we'll have a record of your completion of the course. Thanks.